All right. Hello, everyone. I meant to go on earlier, but I got back late last night from Western New York. Well, not late, but I got back yesterday and had to go into my place of employment this morning, and you know things just ended up starting later than I wanted them to. You have to set the show up, and I have a brand and a standard over here, so this is what it is. Sometimes things get started later. So I'm not going to go long tonight. I just wanted to get on really quickly and say something about Saturday's game. So the Wolverines have UNLV on Saturday. It is a 3:30 kickoff. And I wanted to come on and give the production. I'm sorry, the prediction, not the production. I wanted to come on really quickly and give the prediction for Saturday's game. But I decided to throw in a little extra as well, uh, involving our one of our former quarterbacks, Mr. Cade McNamara. And I think I'm going to be following personally. I'll be following what's happening with Iowa all season long because Cade is one of our former quarterbacks, and he didn't have a graceful exit from Ann Arbor. But also, we might meet up with this team in Indianapolis in December. So I'm going to play the intro. I'm going to talk briefly about the prediction, and then I'm going to say a few words about Cade and Iowa, because my smartphone has been sending me more and more articles on Cade and Iowa. So I'm going to play the intro, and then I'm going to wrap this up. And so here we go. Please smash that like button. If you guys are coming in, I appreciate whoever is coming in. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. So I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, or the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat. Whoops, that's the wrong one. There we go. Those were pictures of the big house last Saturday. Pictures on the field. The rest of us were up in the stands wearing maize. I was wearing jeans, and I thought that I should have worn shorts because it was pretty warm. But this week, the Wolverines have the University of Nevada, Las Vegas running Rebels. I'm going to pull the schedule up here to accompany me through this talk. Give me a second here. I'm not going to go long tonight. So Michigan won last week's game 30-3. Michigan was favored to win that game by 37 points, and so they fell short by 9. So let's see what the Wolverines can do this week. So the Wolverines, let me move this over here for myself. Let me enable my screen share here. Let me know what you guys think in the chat there. Live streams are always more fun when they are interactive. Okay, so Michigan defeated East Carolina 30-3. And then this week we have the UNLV running Rebels. That is going to be a 3:30 kickoff. So assuming the game doesn't go into overtime, it should end right around 8 o'clock. And so with Coach Harbaugh out, you know that well, maybe you don't know, but I know, but they are rotating the head coaching duties. So last week, Jesse Minter was the head coach, our defensive coordinator. And I think this week, Sharon Moore, he took part in the suspension last week. So this week, I think he'll be back and he will be the quote unquote head coach. If not him, then Coach Harbaugh's dad, Jack Harbaugh, who is I got my yearbook here, my team yearbook. Jack Harbaugh is an associate head coach. So they're not giving out programs anymore at the big house, only these yearbooks. You have to get the programs online. I liked to get the programs whenever I would go to the games, but all they are selling now are these yearbooks. A lot of good reading in here. Okay, so what is the predicted score for Michigan this week? So there was a lot of talk about the performance last week. There were defensive players out. JJ looked pretty good. East Carolina pretty much stacked the box. So there wasn't, even though Blake broke off that run, there wasn't a lot of running room for him and Donovan Edwards. So JJ made East Carolina pay by throwing 3 touchdown passes to Roman Wilson. And I believe, 3 touchdown passes to Roman Wilson. I don't think any of the other guys got in the scoring column. So let's take a look at the spread or the prediction for this week's game. This is a short blurb. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to proceed to the end of this stream, where I'm going to talk about Cade a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's see. So this is off of Fan Nation. Okay. And this says Michigan versus UNLV picks, predictions, college football week 2 computer picks, betting odds, lines, etc. Okay. Jim Harbaugh will serve his second self-imposed suspension out of 3 games. He won't be on the sideline for the game. Some of these websites, I don't know who's editing these pieces, but some of they're not. Yeah, there are words missing from this, so I'm going to do my best to fill this in. Okay. Jim Harbaugh will serve his second self-imposed suspension out of 3 games. He won't be on the sidelines for this week's game as defending Big Ten champion Michigan welcomes UNLV to the big house in college football's week 2 action on Saturday. It's hard to believe that UNLV is a football school. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, so I remember UNLV as a basketball school. Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony, Coach Tarkanian, Tark the Shark. Anyway, Michigan fared well enough without him in the 2023 debut, beating East Carolina 30-3, thanks to a surefire connection between quarterback J.J. McCarthy and wide receiver Roman Wilson, a dynamic duo who connected on 3 touchdown plays. All right. UNLV introduced new head coach Barry Odom with a convincing 30-point win over Bryant in the opener, thanks to a strong rushing performance in which the Rebels backs scurried for 283 yards on the ground, including a 19-yard touchdown run by quarterback Doug Brumfield, a dual threat working behind center. What do the experts think of the matchup? Let's see how the College Football Power Index computer prediction model projects the game. So from that, I am gleaning that UNLV is going to attempt to run the ball with their backs, and they have a mobile quarterback. So that's going to be a different look for our defense. There's Donovan running the ball. Okay. Michigan odds. The computers are expectedly siding with the Wolverines, who have the convincing 98.4% chance to win the game outright, according to the index models that pick winners by simulating games 20,000 times. That leaves the Rebels with the outside 1.6% shot to pull off the upset, according to the latest index simulations. And so the point spread. So Michigan comes into the game as a 36-point favorites against UNLV, according to the lines from SI Sportsbook. So Michigan is expected to win by 37 points. Hey, they can do more than they did last week. I think Michigan's going to score 40 to 45 points or more. That's just me. I think they left some points on the field last week, especially that goal line stand where ECU turned our team away. Okay, so if you're betting the points, the total points predicted are 58 points. So Michigan is expected to win by 36. Not much surprise there. So what do you guys think? Do you think, well, whoever is watching this on the playback, do you guys agree with that prediction? So there was other news. Last week as Michigan was going to 1-0 against East Carolina. It turns out that Iowa defeated Utah State, and Cade McNamara started that game. Eric All played in that game. Those were two of our two players who logged a lot of time for us 2 years ago during the 2021 season, where Michigan officially came back and beat Ohio State and won the Big Ten. And the next year, it was thought that Cade McNamara, I don't even want to say that it was thought that he would retain the starting job, but I think it was understood across the board that there would be a bit of a competition between him and JJ. I have the two drops here. I played these last week. The first one was Cade being asked about the competition. I'll play these. These are really short, and I enjoy these two drops.
Do you see yourself as a starter? Because we talked about possibly being a timeshare arrangement, kind of like a little bit similar to last year, but maybe, even at 50-50, it could be anything. You would be in the starter, JJ. I think. How do you see the competition playing out? Do you see it as a competition?
Do you see it as a competition? And this is Cade's classic response.
I'm a Big Ten championship winning starting quarterback, and that's how I see it.
Yeah, so this wouldn't be a big deal if Cade had transferred to another conference like the Pac-12 or the SEC or maybe one of the Group of Five conferences, but he transferred within the Big Ten, which means that we may see them again in the Big Ten championship game, Cade and Eric All, along with Kirk Ferentz and the rest of that roster. He didn't have the smoothest transition out of Ann Arbor. A lot of fans booed him as he was fighting for that starting spot, and he hurt his knee, I think, in the third game, and that was it for him. But I saw a couple of links. The cloud or AI kept sending me links because I read this one about his father. So I'm just going to talk about these briefly, and then I'm going to wrap up. And I think a couple of things. One thing occurred to me today was that we kind of traded quarterbacks, I guess, with Iowa. Jim's first year, we got Jake Rudock from Iowa. He was a grad transfer, and now Iowa got a grad transfer from us in Cade. So it's funny how that all worked out. But this article, I'm not going to read these verbatim, but this one caught my eye because, of the title. Let's see. It's kind of funny. This one is entitled Cade McNamara's dad was uncomfortable with the infamous Michigan quarterback competition. So those of us in the fan base know that it was not just a big deal for our school, but that got national attention. And apparently, Mr. McNamara was uncomfortable with seeing his son go through that. Sports are a meritocracy in most instances, and they should be. You should have to earn your spot every year, and your spot shouldn't be guaranteed unless you're JJ. But then you still have to compete a little bit for those positions. And so I guess it was nerve-wracking for his dad to see his son go through that, in addition to the outcome and seeing his son be booed by members of the Michigan fan base after winning them the Big Ten title. So this is something I saw. All these links are below in the description box. I'm not going to read these verbatim, but I just thought it was interesting to note. This one reads as follows. Well, it's entitled I'll do this one. Please smash that like button if you haven't. I'm not going to be on much longer. I got started late, and I only had a few things that I wanted to say tonight anyway. This one is entitled Cade McNamara, Seth Anderson make Hawkeye history with opening drive TD connection. So they mentioned this last week in all the post-game coverage. Iowa is known for its discipline and its defense, and it's disciplined and defensive play. It's not known for offense. And whenever Iowa has some offense, it's a really, really big deal. And so last week, under the leadership of Cade, they scored an opening touchdown drive, which at Michigan is kind of expected, but at a school like Iowa, where the offenses are typically the weaker unit in comparison to the defense, that's a big deal. So Cade was able to get Iowa on the board early. I think Eric All scored a touchdown or two in that game as well. And then I'll do one more, and then I will wrap this stream up. Which the other one that I will do? Ex-Michigan quarterback Cade McNamara wins season opener with new team. So I'll read. I thought this was interesting because, let's see, where is it? Yeah, Sam Webb and Devin Gardner. I watched, and all season I'll be watching Sam with Devin and Al Borges and Vance Bedford. I can't wait to hear Vance Bedford's breakdowns. But Devin and Sam basically joked that Cade is a game manager, and I was happy to have that, but that's what they got. They got a game manager. So these statistics, Cade's statistics on that game against Utah State, I said this last weekend, this is what Cade gave us early in the season, the 2021 season: 17 of 29 passes for 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So a steady, mistake-free performance. That's what he gave Iowa in week 1 against Utah State. So again, I think this is significant because, well, I'll be watching to see what they do most of the season. I don't know who their competition is over in the Big Ten West. So I think they're probably favored to win the Big Ten West over there, and we are favored to win the Big Ten East. So it's highly likely that we're going to see these guys in Indianapolis. But I thought it was funny that for Iowa, that was a big deal. They scored an opening round touchdown, and Cade gave them his typical performance. Yeah, it wasn't a JJ McCarthy performance where he was out running around and throwing off his back foot and making the defense guess. It was a steady and methodical performance. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Michigan is favored to win this week by 37 points. So the goal will be to get the W, work out the kinks, work out the bugs. I will have to look and see if some of the guys who didn't play will be on the field, particularly on the defensive side. But also, a goal will be to get the W and to get the starters out. The offensive unit, JJ in particular, they played late into the fourth quarter before Michigan's backup quarterback got in there, Davis Warren. So depending upon how this goes, you want to get those guys out pretty early to avoid any injuries going forward. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I just wanted to get in here and do something prior to the game. These games are every week, so you want to get one done before the game and you want to get one done after the game. So you just want to get that regularly going and not wait. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you expecting Michigan to cover that prediction? Are you expecting Michigan to, in fact, put up 37 points, 40 points, 50 points? Yeah, are you expecting UNLV to put up a fight in a way that ECU did not? I don't know much about UNLV, but just from that blurb that I read, it looks like they like to run the ball, and they have capable running backs and a quarterback that will attempt to run the ball as well. Though it doesn't seem like they played a high-end opponent. I suspect Bryant is a lower Division I school or maybe a D2 school. So there may not be a lot we can glean from their victory over that school. But hopefully Michigan takes care of business and does so handily and gets our starters off the field pretty quickly. So let me know what you think in the comments section below, especially if you're watching on the playback. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. I don't think Bo Lytle thinks. I doubt that Bo Lytle suspected that I would keep running with this, but I am a disciple of the Jim Rome show, and when Jim got a hold of something, he would keep it and continue running with it. So thank you, Bo Lytle, for that slogan. Respect is earned. I think when I started this stream, I was at 1,196. So if you watch this and you're unsubscribed, please consider pushing me towards and beyond 1,200. For those of you who don't know, I am a writer and I am working on a sports-related book. My Big Words LLC newsletter is in the description box below. Please consider signing up. There is a 2-paragraph greeting. There. And then there is this subscription button at the bottom. You just click that and enter in your email address, and you are a part of the group. You don't have to subscribe, but please consider doing so. And that's if you read. I heard on YouTube that a lot of people don't read today. If you want to make a donation to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are below in the description box. You can leave a super thanks as well. All right, everyone, go blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. I will give a post-game reaction either on Saturday night after the game or early on Sunday. But I think these things are best when they go up immediately after the game. So look for something probably on Saturday night. So with that, I will talk to you soon. And everyone enjoy the game. Remember, kickoff is at 3:30. And I have to see if I have to watch that on Peacock or I was at the game last week, so I saw it live, but everyone's saying the Big Ten is doing its games on Peacock now. So, well, I'll see it somewhere. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.